What's going on, everyone? Conservative Video Dipper here. If you got a dip pack a lip, I will be dipping on Grizzly Long Cut Wintergreen. We are not sponsored nor endorsed by that company. As you see, today's topic is why is it so easy for me to debunk liberals, and do I get bored because it's way too easy for me? First and foremost, I do want to say that I do not recommend you go out and try to harass people, especially liberals, because, their fragile little ego is going to hurt quite a little bit more. And we don't want to hurt their little feelings because, they're special buttercups. But let's get into the conversation at hand. Why is it so easy for me to debunk these libtards? Well, number one, it just comes down to how I do it. I'm very good at it. I do a lot of research, a lot of dedicating in my time to figure out what both sides are saying and kind of from there debunk which one is true, which ones are lies. And obviously, when you listen to how liberals love to talk a lot, you can honestly tell when they're going to start breaking down. That's the thing, is that their reaction to whatever you say. If you bring facts, cheers, by the way, to the table, they're going to hate you for it. They're going to break down. And they're going to start kind of doing this, what computers would do. An error message. They would just start having trouble, computing things, because you have to factory reset them by telling them, no, it's okay. We understand that you're just using your feelings, not facts and logic. We get it. It's okay. Do you want that little participation trophy? Well, let me call up Donnie, our president, and see if he can get you a participation trophy and maybe a cookie to go with that, since you are so special. And it just drives them absolutely nuts when you know that when they just start going into this error mode and their brains don't compute anymore, they can't handle what you're saying, they no longer can decipher the difference between fact and fiction and reality and make believe. They can't do it. They just automatically go into this mode that it just kind of like the mind just, it will no longer take information. Now, when it comes to them and liberals in general, it's also really easy for me because I've done this a long time. I know how to handle them. I don't let anything that they say really get to me at this point, because everything that they try to say or, believe that they're saying is hurting feelings, it really doesn't, because what it does to me is it shows exactly them on what they do. That is their weakness. Right now, they're weak because their brains are being overloaded with fake news, false information, disingenuousness, and all this BS mumble jumble that they've been force feed to believe in their cult, and being told that it's okay to go ahead and name call and try to, claim certain things. Like sometimes liberals love to claim that MAGA supporters are on the spectrum, which kind of tells you right there, if they're claiming that some MAGA supporters are allegedly on the spectrum, what does that not only tell you about what they're saying, but that kind of action, that obviously they don't care that there are people out there that are, on the spectrum. And it's okay. If you are on the spectrum, that's fine. It does not matter if you're on the spectrum. But what it shows is that they they pretend to be so tolerant, but then when people start proving them wrong, that's when the intolerance starts. And that's when the name calling starts. And it shows that they no longer care what they say. And everything that they allegedly believe or supposedly believe just goes right out the window. And you start seeing the racism, the misogyny, the sexism, the everything, the making fun of people that may or may not be disabled. And look, I'm not disabled myself, but I do have a lazy eye. Now, I make fun of myself because, yeah, I have a lazy eye. But that doesn't mean I'm on a spectrum. But they will make fun of any small certain things that they can, because that's what makes them try to feel um, secure. But it's their little small ping energy insecurity being tossed towards you, because, they're digressing towards you in a way that they know how, by using that small brain energy of, it's okay to name call when supposedly they go after you and say, hey, you can't say that. They kind of metaphorically Nazi police you for saying certain things, but it's not okay for you to say it, but it's okay for them to say it. And that's why it's so easy for me, is because I know that this is what they're capable of. I know how to deflect what they're saying by saying, "Oh, cool. So obviously you're talking about yourself," or "That's okay, Buttercup. We know that you're a little angry that somebody dog walked you over here. It's all good." And it's easy to dog walk them. So easy to hit them with the biggest amount of facts, and they're not gonna like it, which fine, they don't have to. They don't have to accept it. They can just look to see whether I'm lying or not, or anybody's lying or not. And they can do research on their own, but they choose not to. Instead, again, they'd rather name call and, have that small ping energy thrown back at you, because that's what they have, is small ping energy. They don't think about it. Also, it's easy for me because I know that they can't comprehend right and wrong. There's another thing that they don't know how to compute with. Right and wrong, we know as humans, there's the right way to do things and the wrong way to do things or handle things. In this world, we, some of us, probably most likely not them, because they never been told no or been spanked or sent to their room with no supper, or the parents really just, I guess you could say, um, nurtured them, or just really went way too much on being overly protective or not doing what they're supposed to do as parents, supposedly, to teach these people when they were younger, these libtards, when they were younger, right and wrong, no means no, and yes means yes. And they don't understand it. They don't comprehend or compute right and wrong, no means no. They don't understand these things. they forget these things. They forget that this is what happens when you turn into um, being a spoiled little brat too much. And that's what they are, just kind of spoiled little brats that turn into adults, becoming adult brats 2.0. And the other thing why it's so easy for me is because when they deflect on certain topics, like the guy that I was, def, kind of debunking last night for 5 freaking hours, and y'all watched it, and I appreciate it. Thank you all for the love and support. Um, it's easy to see not only with facts and how they're going to deflect so much, and they're going to start kind of going into little brat mode. But it's easy to see that when you try to speak like an adult to them, it doesn't work. You have to kind of treat them like a child, pretty much. You have to be a little bit stern with them to remind them, hey, don't be getting out of line, or you can't say this, or you can't do that. You kind of have to mother hen them. And like I said, that's part of the bratty attitude they have. And I know that when you talk to them, they tend to do that the most. They just play stupid with you because they either a do want you to try to do that, treat them like a child, which I don't understand why they would, but okay. But also at the same time, you have to go a little bit slow with them because they are slow. Not saying that like they're on the spectrum or anything, but they are very slow at understanding certain things. And you have to treat them kind of differently, more like they're special, like stupid special, not like, spectrum special. And it's sad. It sucks. They always love to deflect when it comes to, you give them good information, then they want to go to another subject or anything like that. It's so easy to see how quick and fast they can do it. And it really triggers them the most when you know what they're doing, you know the game. It's basically like playing chess with them. You got to play 5D chess with them in order to beat them at their own little pitiful game. But the big part of it is that here is really how I get down to beating these libtards. I don't go to name calling. I don't stoop to their level. Oh, conservative, you should never stoop to their level. Yeah, you're right, because that's childish. If you stoop to their level, then basically you are empowering them to basically continue to perpetuate whatever it is they are perpetuating, whether it's them deflecting hard, acting like a bunch of brats, or name calling, doing whatever they do. You don't stoop to their level. You stay on your level. You stay in your lane, but you do it with grace, ease, and knowledge by, you know, giving what you can, but don't give that shitty attitude and crappy energy back towards them. You don't want to give that to them because even though they're giving it to you, that will drain your energy. And you don't want to do that. You want to keep them drained. You want to drain their energy the most. And the most of the time when you drain their energy is when you start dog walking them with facts, information, and you're just 100% being an adult about the conversation while they're getting out of control. You literally um, are not having to think about it. You can easily do it. So it's easy. All you have to do is just continue to do what you got to do. And then you pretty much will dog walk them. The other thing is that knowing that they're pretty much going to have not very much intelligence, meaning in regards to like um, trust with your sources. And that's okay. Don't be offended by saying, well, you're wrong, you're an idiot, da da da. It's okay that they don't trust you with your sources. Don't be offended by everything that they say, especially if they don't, again, trust your sources. Just say, well, I thought you would like to know. At least get them with kindness because that's most likely the best way to get them is hit them with kindness. Hit them with, here's your information that I thought you would like to see. Maybe you might take a look at it. Who knows? You're not really doing much other than you're not deflecting, you're not dog walk, you kind of are owning them in your own little special way of just being nice somewhat to them, but you also again are firm, direct, and kind of doing what you got to do. Keep your boundaries with them. Don't let them get too personal with you, but also just do what you got to do by not doing the stupid petty shit and being smart about it. Know that they're probably more than likely been watching way too much fake news, CNN, MSNBC, ABC, CNN, Young Turks, Midas Touch. They've been watching way too much of that. And then they'll come back and say, well, you watch Fox. You can hit them back with, oh, really? Okay. Okay. Sure. You don't really have to hit them with much. Just, okay. That's all you have to say. Okay. Then they'll probably more than likely shut up because they don't want to deal with you. The other thing is, I see people trying to trigger them in comments. I know it's fun to trigger them, especially the ones in the comments that are a bunch of yahoos, really big yahoos, and that are easily manipulated. Don't fall for it. Just know that they're already gullible as it is. They're brainwashed, they're gullible. There's nothing you can do to save them or get them out of that situation. Just know that this is what it is. They are gullible yahoos that have no feeling for anyone or care for anything but themselves. And as we already know, they will get petty, they will name call, they will say things that they claim that they never will say, but they do. And we all know that kind of reaction. So don't let them drag you down. Just know that because of their gullibility and how brainwashed they are, you're only doing what you can by trying to help the ones that may be able to be helped. And if you can, great. If you can't, I'm sorry. Do I feel like sometimes I want to just not do this because it's so easy to dog walk these people? Sometimes I do feel that way because um, with me doing this so long now, I've gotten to the point where it's just kind of it's fun, but it's kind of like it's not fun. because, they're not much of a challenge. They're playing tic-tac-toe. You're playing 5D chess. We're not on the same board here, buddy. So yeah, I'm not saying I'm bored of politics. I love politics. I'm very politically active. Will continue to be politically active. But yes, it does get boring sometimes to deal with these tartars. These people that are little snowflake cupcakes. The ones with the small peen energy. And yes, it hurts to see that they're that gullible and that much of a yahoo to believe what they're being told, whether it's by the tier one media or by YouTubers that are just as much of a yahoo as they are. It sucks. But yes, it does get boring to own these people because it's easy for me. I've had a lot of years doing it, almost like 5 or 6 years now doing this. What more can I do to own these people, to piss them off? Well, continue speaking the truth, obviously, and that's what I will do. It doesn't mean I hate it. It just means it gets to a point where trying to argue with them is pointless for me. It really does get boring and pointless because you already know everything. You know what they're going to say, you know how they're going to act, you know what they do. What more can you do? But the other thing that I kind of did think about too is what makes them so gullible. Not just the media, not just what they listen to on YouTube, but what? And I'm thinking about it more and more. And as I think about it, I come to the understanding that it's just they're suckers. That's all they are. Suckers and losers. They're pissed off because majority of these people want everyone else to be schadenfreude, to suffer, and they take that pleasure, and that's what they most likely are trying to do. And that's where they get their jollies the most from, is because they know that if people are gullible to fall for their entrapment, their childish acts, their pitiful ways of thinking, they have you. It's hook, line, and sink at that point. You just got to understand that these people want you to suffer. They don't want to help people. They don't want America to be better. They don't even want our government to help us. They want to keep the rich rich and the poor, and the middle class the middle class. That's all they want. Socialism, communism, alleged Nazism, if you will. And it's bad. And you got to keep reminding yourself time and time again, this is who they are. They're not going to change. They're not going to think differently. They're not going to revert to something totally completely different just because you say, here's the evidence, here's the facts that go against you. You got to understand, they don't take that. They fight. They're like a bunch of pack of wolves. They're bloodthirsty for destroying our country, metaphorically bloodthirsty for destroying our country, destroying what we have already. And they don't care. They don't give a damn about anyone but to be racist, hateful, bigots, And that's all they will ever amount to. What's up, Brendan, what's up, bud? That's all they're going to do. They're just like a bunch of pack of hyenas. They attack in groups. They're afraid to do it alone, but they'll do it in packs. And you always got to remember that. That is how they are. They will never try to face you alone because they're scared. They know that if they go alone against us, there's no chance for them to take dubs or win against us in a debate or logically. In a logical debate, you can't reason with these yahoos. And it sucks. It really does suck. Because, it's they'll never understand. That's good, bro. I'm happy you're relaxing and dipping. That's good. But at the same time, you also kind of have to remember that because they do it in packs, it's not good for you to go in alone. Because if you know that you go in alone, you're going to get shredded. You're going to get torn up. And I've done it before. I've seen multiple conservatives do it. And yes, some conservatives can really handle it. Some can't. Some just crack and snap under pressure like a dam. If you know you're not comfortable trying to debate these people alone, then don't do it alone or don't do it at all. Have the common sense to understand your strength and weakness because they will try to use anything and everything that is possibly seen as weakness in their eyes to go after you. And you can't let them do that to you. And this is why, like I say, I'm good at what I do. I handle them. Yes, I've done it many times alone, solo. I've fought against these, debated against these people alone. But guess what? I've taken dubs because I know their weakness. I know what drives them absolutely nuts. Again, it's fact. It's like a peanut allergy to them. They're allergic. That's all you got to do is take facts with you. And as much as you know facts, if you still don't feel comfortable about it, then still don't do it. Because it's not worth it. It's not worth. And that's good, Brandon. You never should. Don't let people get you down. It's not worth it because it's a waste of energy. If you know that your energy is not there fully to possibly debunk them or have a debate with them, then you know what your worth in weight and gold is. And you should always remember what your worth in weight and gold is. Don't let them drag you to that bottom. They're bottom feeders. That's all they will ever want to be. And it's okay. Let them be bottom feeders. At that point, liberals are never going to be better. They're not going to learn. They don't want to learn the things we know. Truth. They don't see things our way because they don't want to. They're ignorant. That's ignorance. And that's another thing that I've noticed with liberals and why it's so easy for me to own them, to basically dog walk them because they're ignorant. I know how to use their ignorance against them. If they say something stupid or that seems really off the cuffs with them, I call it out and say, hey, see, you always use that excuse that we should never either say or be the way that you're being, or claiming that we're fascist, but you're using a fascist, racist, bigoted tactic to drag people down or do this and what you're doing, that's hypocritical. So you're being a hypocrite. I do call them out for their hypocrisy, but at the same time, I'm careful with how I do it. And that's another thing you got to do is be careful with how you say things, because especially with them, they may get too happy, or they may want to try to take your channel down because they don't like what you say. Don't say things that you know that are going to be very problematic for you, because that is how you can easily get in trouble or have them win against you. Don't do that. But in other words, it's pretty easy for me. I have fun with it sometimes. Um, that 5 hour live was pretty good. It was really crazy. But it honestly proved a lot. It proved how easy somebody that has uh, yep, you do. It proves pretty much how easy people that want to pretend that they're a radio talk show host can easily be debunked and fall to the needs of a tier two journalist. It's very easy to do because there's that saying, don't F with a journalist. And that's why people kind of use that phrase a lot by telling people, don't F with a tier two journalist. Who knows what he's doing? Because it doesn't end very well. And you're right, Brandon. You do have to be careful with what you say. That is the hardest part that they don't understand. They do not know how to be careful with what they say. They're very quick to make accusations, assumptions, false information be put out there. And they shouldn't do it, but they can easily look online to find if something counteracts what they're saying. But again, they don't want to. They just would rather go the high road or their way of saying things that can possibly get them in legality issue. And that's why I tell people, be careful with what you say. Me as a tier two journalist, I've learned that since day one. I've learned everything that I need to know. Why do you think I'm this good at what I do? Why do you think I'm called the damn talent? Because I know what I'm doing. I know how to do things. I know how to be careful. I know how to stay out of legality issues. Even though sometimes, yes, I want to say certain things that I shouldn't, I think it. I don't say it. You got to know when to kind of shut your mouth, but yeah, it's okay to not shut your brain down, but say it in your head, not out loud. Don't say the quiet part out loud. And it's hard. And they don't know how to do it, but I do. That's why I'm good at what I do. I know how to be honest about what I do because it hurts them when I call them out and say, ooh, that could possibly get you in a pinch of legality issues. Why do you think a lot of these videos I've done, I'm very careful with? I don't show the videos because I know how to do it. They don't. They're very quick to get themselves in possible legality issues. Some people, sure, they have lawyers up the wazoo and they know how to call up the lawyer and say, hey, we got legality issues. Deal with it. That's because some of them do have the money for it. Others, like me, don't have much money for it, but I do have a legal team, but I don't use it unless I got to. So learn your basics. That's it. That's as simple as that. That's as far as simplicity will go. You're right, Brandon. I do know what I'm doing. Very much so. And you've seen what I can do and how far I can go with doing journalism. I do a lot of research. I take a lot of my time. Most of my days aren't just spent being on here. A lot of my times when I'm not on here, I'm on the computer researching shit. Majority of the time. Because that's what I got to do. I don't get much time to do what I want. Most of my time spent on here. Does it suck? Yeah, sometimes it does, but it's part of life. It's a job for me, and I'm very thankful that I can do it. Not a lot of people have the tenacity and the gumption to go as far as being an actual credible source, looking for things, finding the key pieces to the puzzle that would fit. That's what I do. That's what a real journalist does. That's called real journalism for all of you people out there. It's not just journalism isn't just about being the face, the center of attention, lights, camera, action. Mm-mm. No, somebody asked me one time about that and asked what's the main thing that journalists do? Research. A lot and a lot of research. A lot of their time is either spent writing an article or a piece about whatever they're writing about or researching it for information that they need for that article, piece, or whatever they're going to basically talk about. That's a lot of what we do. And it is boring. I'm not going to lie. It's boring sitting here sometimes, staring at the computer 5 to 6 hours straight up, but it's got to be done because that's what real good journalists do. They do research. They don't get a lot of fun time. It's work. And if you don't put in that work, you're not going to reap the benefits of being great and being known, being on 24 or 34 platforms. Well, I never seen your your freaking radio shows. Well, go find them. They're out there. Rightwingmedia.net. They're out there. To the Romeo Hill Show. They're out there. I've been on 24 platforms. I know how hard it is. I know that a lot of liberals can't put in that effort. People that are liberals will never ever be able to put that much effort in to make it a good show and make it clean. And that's a good idea too, Brandon, is if you get upset, take time off the internet. That's what I got to do sometimes because with all of this politics stuff, it does kind of get to me sometimes because I hear a lot of liberal crap being said and I don't agree with it. It upsets me. And I know, okay, that's probably enough internet time for me today for a while. So I got to go do something productive, whether it's house chores or go outside and do whatever. I have to take time away. And it's okay. It's okay to walk away. Liberals don't know when it's okay to walk away. They just continue to bombard themselves with internets and just nonsensical crap. And it's sad and pathetic, if you ask me, in my opinion. It really is. It is really pathetic that they do that kind of stuff. And it is what it is, though. It's not going to get better, it's going to get worse. But you got to let them just, let them do whatever they do. Not going to affect me. It's them not going to be brain rotted. And I enjoy it. I enjoy what I do. I enjoy trying to prove people wrong about not just me, but about journalism and what it really is. Right. And Brandon, that's another thing is if you feel like your time is well spent doing something else, go for it. Spend your time doing something else, more productive, dude. I mean, seriously, fighting stupid yahoos over the internet really, again, it's not a great time use. It's just a time waster at that point. You're wasting time. You're debating yahoos that are just incompetent to know the difference between right and wrong, yes and no, up and down, ass from elbow. They don't know that shit. You do. You know it. I know it. Because we're smart. We're smarter than them. We're absolutely smarter than they are. By all means. And yes, it does prove a lot that when it comes to journalism, that a lot of liberals, again, don't know how to do journalism. They only pretend by going off what they hear or what they think. That's bad time. That's bad use of time. You could be more productive actually finding things for yourself. Litigate your time. Maybe spend like 15, 20 minutes doing a little bit of research, 15, 20 minutes off the internet, doing something productive. And then if you want, after 15, 20 minutes, you decide you want to come back, do more journalism, then go for it. That's what I always recommend people to do because it helps you stay sane. You don't want to mentally go insane like these libtards. These libtards are already mentally insane. They're deranged. And it's funny. See, there you go. Go outside, work with your family. There you go. That's something really, really good. That's productive. I would say definitely good time use or use of time for sure. It's funny. And I've been asked too, well, conservative, what is the worst thing or what is the hardest part about owning liberals? Try not to get angry, I guess. That's the hardest part with it is knowing that you really don't want to get angry with them because getting angry with them obviously is again poor use of your time, waste of energy, waste of resources, waste of day and time, or yeah, waste of time in general that you could be productive. Just don't. Don't do it. Don't fight with them. Like I said before, be more productive. Be better than them. And that's what a lot of conservatives believe is going out there being productive, fishing, hunting, doing chores, taking care of the family, doing things y'all that we all do. They don't have time for that. Most of the time, they're probably never ever have the time seeing their family because half of again their time is spent arguing with us, trying to prove how stupid we are in their mind, but we're not because we're not spending every 24 hours, 7 days a week on the internet fighting against these idiots. It does. It does. But at the same time, Brandon, you got to understand liberals do not comprehend things, again, very well. They don't know how to be smart. They think they're smart, but they're not. So, that's the worst part about it. It gets annoying. Sorry, I'm being very quiet because I'm cracking my can, and that's the best part. I like hearing that can crack. Oh, that's my favorite part right there. I've also been asked, well, conservative, do you care that people think you're allegedly disgusting for dipping while you're doing your news reports? No, not at all. I don't kind of really care. I've heard about that one, but I have not seen it. I haven't seen it. I just stick with long cut. But like I said, I don't care. People have their opinions. Opinions are like assholes. We all have one. Some are dirtier than others. Sorry, not sorry. Full can. Full can, gents. Look at that beautiful thing. My gosh. Ooh. It smells good. And I'm going to try not to accidentally snort up my nose like I did that one time. But, oh, that grizzly winegary just smells so good. I don't know why I like that smell so much. It's just good smell. But yeah, a lot of things I don't let bug me really. I don't let liberals really detract me from doing what I do best. I keep on the path that I do. Oh, I do too, Brandon. I love that smell. It's so good. It's a good smell. If you got a lip, pack one with me, y'all. Cheers if y'all dip. But yeah, I just don't let shit get to me. And that's what I always want to tell people. I think that's the biggest thing on YouTube or any platform. Don't let trolls or haters get to you. You're going to have a lot of people that may not like you, and you might get a lot of people that may like you. Just remember those that are there that watch you, support you, love you, care for you, and believe in what you're doing is right and it's the great thing that you're doing, and they give you that support by telling you keep going, don't give up, don't let nothing stop you. That's what you should believe in, those people that tell you that, because you're going to see a lot of liberals and Democrats trying to put you down, or a lot of detractors trying to put you down. Don't let it. Be stronger than them. You are mentally, physically, and spiritually stronger than they are. They're just little crybabies. That's what I always do, Brandon. I laugh. I don't care. It doesn't affect me. I just do the same shit that anybody else would do. I make fun of them. I poke at them, or I poke at myself, knowing that yeah, I sure have a lazy eye. Oh, ha ha! Ha. Oh, he's got a lazy eye. Ha ha ha! Wow, is that all really you can come up with against me? Wow, great. Brownie points for absolutely something stupid that I guess I don't think we all kind of already knew about myself. Come up with something new, please. Here's a pencil. Make it suspenseful. Come back when you got something good to say about me. Or in the words of a man, here's the mic. Tell them something they don't know about me. And normally they don't have anything to really say after that. Because most liberals are not that intelligent to make any sense. You give them 2 pennies, they seriously are dumb enough, they'll probably think it's 2 nickels. That's how stupid they are. And intellectually incapacitated they are for brain use. Oops. I make fun of myself all the time. I'm okay with it. That's why liberals really don't get to me anymore. Because I can laugh at myself. And I'm good with it. I'm not afraid to show who I truly am. I am just a human being that, yes, has flaws sometimes, just like anyone else. And it doesn't hurt to laugh at yourself. That's something also that I tell people a lot of when they want to be a YouTuber or content creator. Don't be afraid to laugh at yourself. Laughing at yourself is always something that you should do. If, like, again, you drop a can of dip. Sure, you could be upset, but what is you being upset with yourself going to do? Nothing. Other than it's going to cause emotional stress. And it's just going to make you upset, and then you're really going to have a fucked up day for the rest of the day. Laugh about it. Brush it off. Be like, I'm a klutz. Or damn Butterfingers. Oops, I got Butterfingers today. And that's good, Brandon. You are confident to do that. That shows you have a lot of confidence, my dude. That is something you should always have, is confidence in yourself. Don't let no one tell you any different. You're a good guy, Brandon. I've known you for a long time, Bubba. You're a good man. See, here's the thing. I've known Brandon, like I said, for a long time. I've seen Brandon's videos. He does laugh at himself sometimes. I've seen him actually laugh at himself in some videos. And it's absolutely great. I kind of get a chuckle out of it. Like, this guy knows what he's doing. He's not afraid to do what needs to be done by laughing at himself. He's always willing to do the best he can. He puts up with a lot of shit, but damn does he know that he's got it made. He's got it made. He's better off than most people on YouTube or a new platform because he's not afraid to show his true self. He's not afraid to be, pardon the pun for some of y'all, organic. And that's what I like about Brandon. Is that every time in his videos, he's organic. You never know what you're going to get with Brandon. Even if sometimes he's having a shit day, he still tries to smile. And that's what Brandon always is known for. Right, Brandon? And that's what I think everyone should do. Let's just be okay with being authentic, organic. God, I hate saying that word. It's what you got to do. And liberals hate it. Liberals hate when you are organic and you know how to be yourself. They don't like that. That's a weakness. That's like kryptonite. There was trying to remember. There was a situation where I went into the store to go pay for my dip, and I thought I had like a 20 or a 10 in my hand or in my wallet. Come to find out, I only had like $5 or $6. Sure, it was a little disheartening and disparaging, but I kind of laughed at it. I'm like, I guess I don't have enough money. But the store owner was like, hey, you know what? It's okay. I know who you are. I watch your channel. Come back when you got a little bit of the money that you need to pay off. And they're always good with it. Sometimes. But it was just that one type of situation where I was in public and I had to do it. But I did kind of deep down, I was like, I hate doing this. I hate feeling this way. I hate having a life by myself in public. But I did. I got through it. It was hard, but I got through it. But real quick, let's see if anybody on YouTube said anything. Real quick. Hold on, guys. We got a commercial.
That's your size compared. So those are compared to. Those are among the tallest buildings in the world, including.
This guy is reacting to Trump.
Empire State Building, World Trade Center, Sears Tower, Chicago. So if you lay it on its side, you take
This is just a sample of, I'll show you how I debunk people.
2 or 3 of them to fill it in, because the width is almost 200 feet wide. And
Number one, when you're going to debunk liberals, don't get personal with them. If you get too damn personal, they'll use that against you.
actually much more than 2,000, close to, including everything, it's about 2,500 feet.
Do you know why he's like this?
Now, when you hear them ask a question, you can stop and answer. It's always a good idea to let them finish what they're going to say before you stop them or stop the video and respond back. So in this situation, you would go, well, gee, I don't know why. Why is he like this? You can use a little sarcasm if you want, but don't be too facetious. But use a little sarcasm.
I'm going to tell you a story.
Now, when they say something like this, you go, oh, Joy, a bedtime story. Does that come with milk and cookies and somebody to tuck me in?
A couple years ago, my dad had triple heart bypass surgery.
Now, in a situation where they say something really sincere, you do kind of want to be empathetic and sympathetic just a little bit by saying, well, gee, I am sorry that happened.
And I hadn't seen him in a while because he was a very abusive father. But I went in there and he said, you know, if you wanted to go on vacation, I could pay for it.
In this kind of situation where things like this may be said, sometimes you really don't want to say much other than, well, that's a nice gesture that that person offered you, or that sounds really good or enticing?
Would you like me to cover your airfare in your hotel? I can pay for it. My father is an insecure little boy who never grew up.
Now, something like this, because it's really personal, you don't want to get too personal, but you just want to say, gee, I'm sorry that you feel that way towards whoever you feel that way towards. Um, wish you the best.
It's very similar to what this orange piggy.
The name calling. See, that's straight up what they're going to do. Now, in this case, when they start name calling, you could kind of point out the little things like, well, gee, I mean, name calling really isn't going to help your case at this point. Why would you name call? That to me seems very childish.
This little white trash vase with 6 teeth are.
Again, that's not really nice.
They're emotionally immature.
Now, in this case, you're most likely going to respond with, well, gee, that sounds like somebody else we know. There's so many ways you can respond. But again, just get them with kindness. That's all I got to tell you, people. But anyway, I'll be on maybe later tonight. But yeah, that was just kind of a little sample of how to deal with them. But anyway, love you guys. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe.